Good morning, all my beautiful patrons. Today I'm going to be doing my podcast. I am doing it early. Normally I film these on Fridays and post them, but my husband's coming home today, so I want to be able to spend as much time with him as I can before he goes back to work, since he's been gone for 3 weeks now. So I don't have any finished projects this week. Of course, I have no new items. I do have works in progress, and then I have my planner layouts. So I'm going to put the planner layouts at the very last of the video, so if you're not interested in that, you can just go ahead and click off. But I thought I would go ahead and share them with you. It is a craft that I like to do. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with my works in progress. So my first one, which is what I've spent most of my time on over this weekend, is the cover for my wreath. So this is the crochet portion of the wreath that's going to be coming. The tutorial will be next week. So what I do is I crochet the cover to go over the form, and then I use whatever type of decorations that I want to decorate the wreath with. So I did change the color of this. I had bought that Red Heart Fall. Remember, I don't know if you guys remember, I did haul that the same time that I got this. And when I chose my sign, it just didn't, the colors don't match. So I did have this sitting on hand because this is that skein of Red Heart that I got for 75 cents. And it matched perfectly. So I went ahead and did it. And this is just Red Heart Gold. And like I said, I got it for 75 cents, which is a great deal. And this is what it looks like. It's just a rectangle panel, and you crochet at the length of your wreath form, and then you have to have the widths because we're going to seam it together. We're going to fold it over, and I fold it over around the wreath form and seam it together. I'll go over that in the tutorial. Exactly how that's done and everything, but I did need to finish that because I'm going to start filming that this next week. So I guess that is a finished project, sort of. At least the crochet portion's finished. And all of my wreaths are pretty much the same. I normally do a crochet portion, and then I get the rest of like the decoration from Dollar Tree. Sometimes I'll crochet the portions, but a lot of time I like to see what, other things I can come up with. And the Dollar Tree has very cute decor, so you can find really cute stuff to put on your wreaths. So there's that one. I'm sorry if I seem a little scatterbrained. I have already filmed this once, and I have not had the chance to get rechargeable batteries for my new camera yet, and apparently the ones that we have on hand just aren't good enough because I put brand new batteries in it, turned it on, and it like sucked it instantly. So I am using my old camera, but for a podcast it's fine because they're short. I don't spend a lot of time on them, and the batteries should last at least long enough for me to get this done, as long as I don't babble too long. So where was I? But yeah, I've already filmed this once, so I'm trying to remember what I had said already. So, the next thing that I've been working on is the Christmas stockings. So I have started both mine and my husband's. They're separate patterns, and I've been working more on my husband's because it's been such a pain. And it's out of this book that I got not too long ago. It's just Crochet for Christmas, and it is these stockings right here. So, like I said, I've had nothing but trouble with this pattern, and I had to actually take the basics of the pattern and convert it to my own version because the way it's written is really hard to understand, and she has things that are written in here that don't make any sense, And like I said, it's just been a pain. I spent more time trying to figure out the pattern than I did crocheting the portion that I have done. So yeah. So this is what I've got so far. So this is the top, and then it's starting at the top of the stocking, not the cuff, just the top of the stocking, and then in the very end you go back and attach the cuff. Which you're not sewing it in you're not making it in a separate piece and then sewing it on. You're going back and actually working it from the top, which I don't understand why she just didn't do the cuff and then do the rest. But that's just another complaint about this pattern. So this is what it looks like. Basically the only thing that I'm using out of this pattern is the stitch count and the braided cables. The rest I've changed to because it didn't make any sense. So this is actually the back. So the cables are spaced out where there's 4 stitches in between each cable, and the way that she had written it, you were supposed to do the cable, do 2 front post double crochets, and then 2 regular half double crochets. And that didn't match up on the other side, so I didn't understand why would you do those 2 front post double crochets and you would create this panel on the side of your braided cable that just wouldn't look good. So I don't understand. I could understand if you were going to do that on both sides of the cable, but that's not the way it was. So what I did is I just took out all of the garbage that was in between, and I did strictly half double crochets in between for the 4 stitches, and that worked out so much better than whatever she was trying to do. I don't know whether she just couldn't get what she was working into words or what, but it just didn't make any sense at all. And like I said, I spent more time trying to figure out the pattern than I did crocheting this whole piece. It doesn't look like I have, much done, but I have ripped this out 3 times. This is my 4th try. On the 4th try, I gave up trying to follow whatever she was saying and did my own thing. So, and that's why it's working out now, because I've been crocheting a long time, and this is the first pattern that I've come across that has been so, I don't want to say badly written, but that would be the truth. Badly written to where you don't understand what she's trying to do, because like I said, it's not written where you can comprehend what she's trying to say. So I'm just doing my own thing. I am using the same stitch count and the number of rows, so I am keeping track of the rows that I'm working, just like the pattern is, so I know when to start the heel, because this one has a formed heel just like a regular sock, and I'll need to know when to start that. So I think it's turning out nice now that I've got all the kinks worked out. I am going to go ahead and just write the alteration in the book itself. That way if I ever, however many years down the line, if I ever want to do this again, I'll know not to bother to try and listen to what the pattern's saying, but to do it this way. So I think it's coming out nicely. For my other stocking, which is my stocking, I am not doing this pattern. I am doing a different pattern, but I am, once again, altering what the pattern is. I'm only using it for the measurements and number of rows and everything. So this is the pattern that I'm basing my stocking off of. So what I'm doing is this is a toe-up pattern. I much prefer the toe-up pattern than the top down. So what I'm doing is I just took the number of stitches and everything. I followed the toe just like it was, like it said, and then for the body portion, I'm doing my own stitch using the stitch count that the pattern requires. So like I said, this one's also another cabled stocking, and I'm using this one because I couldn't find another one that was toe up. So I thought that since this only had the two cables on it, it would be easy to convert to my own thing. So I'm not going to go ahead and tell you who's the author of this pattern, because I'm not really basing my project's not really going to be this project. It's just basing it off of the measurements of it. So mine is going to be pink and white. So it'll be, the body will be pink, and then I will have white heel cuffs and toes. And this is what it looks like. And I am using the griddle stitch for mine. I did a tutorial on the griddle stitch a while back, a couple months ago, and I really like it. I like the texture, I like the way it looks, and it adds a nice design to whatever you're doing without having to really work at it, because they're only double crochets and single crochets that you're alternating back and forth. So it's really simple, but it doesn't look simple. So this is what I've got so far. I've got the toe done, and then just this portion. I have not worked on it. I did this all in one sitting. I haven't worked on it in probably, I started it shortly after the last podcast, so a little less than 2 weeks ago. But I have been, like I said, I spend a lot of time on my sweater that you'll see, and then my husband's stocking, and then I had to put all of that aside over the weekend and work on that panel, so for the wreath. But those are my stockings. Hopefully, I'll have some more progress on it, but I think that my sweater is taking up a lot of my time. And that's what my next whip is. So, in case you don't remember, it is out of the Crochet Sweaters book that I had bought when I bought all these other books. So the sweater looks like this. And I am following the pattern on this one other than the collar. I'm not going to put the collar on because I don't like collars, so it'll just be a boat neck, and I think it's going to be perfectly fine. It'll be really nice this winter when it gets really cold here, and it's like a drastic change, not to jump subjects, but it was like super hot, and then it's cooled off quite a bit, and I'm actually kind of sitting here shivering, so I'm happy to have fall on its way. But once again, that's what it looks like. And this is such an easy pattern, and it works up so easily. And all you have is that decorative, the decorative cross stitch along the bottom and then along the joining of the seams, and the rest of it's plain double crochet. So I have finished both body panels. I am so pleased with myself. So this is what they look like. I think it's going to be really nice, nice and warm, and the cross stitch down here, I've always been a fan of the cross stitch, and it just adds that little bit of something, just to give you just a little bit of design when you really want to do nothing but just plain double crochet. So, and that is precisely why I chose this sweater, because I knew I wouldn't have the ability to be able to concentrate on any like pattern stitching. And like I had said last time, this is the third time I've tried to work a sweater with this material, with these skeins of yarn, and I think I've just chose patterns that are too complicated. Not complicated as I didn't understand them, but complicated as in you have to pay attention constantly all the time on what you're doing. And I think I would get so far into it and then I would just lose interest. So this I am very pleased with. I'm really liking it. So I have both panels done. If I had not been working on the cover for the wreath, I probably would have had a sleeve done by now. So maybe by the time next podcast, I'll have, at least one sleeve done. Maybe even two. But I am very excited about this, which I normally don't get that excited about making sweaters, but this one's actually working out exactly the way that I want it, and I don't think it's going to be too big, which I have a lot of problems with sweater patterns. They're either too big or they're too small. I'm kind of in that in between, and I have a rather large rib cage, so fitted things can be a little too snug if they're not made exactly properly. But this sweater is not fitted, but it is a thinner type of sweater. Thinner as in it's not bulky, is what I mean. So that is all of my works in progress. I do not have any sewing done this week. I have done some planner layouts, so like I said, I'm going to just leave that at the end, so if you're not interested, you can go ahead and click off. But I thought I would just go ahead and share it with you. It is a craft that I like to do. And, I wanted to share this with you. This is a little bookmark my daughter made me, my youngest daughter. So I've had it sit in my planner. So this is my planner. It's just one of those planners you buy at Walmart. Normally I have one that's much bigger than this. It's the same exact concept, other than it's larger. It's about the size of a 3-ring binder. Not in width, but in height and measurements. It's almost exactly the same measurements as a 3-ring binder. But I decided to go with the smaller one this time. And my planners, because when I first started it, I bought it in June. And when I first bought my first planner, before that I was printing off, stuff and making them out of a binder. And I decided I didn't want to do that anymore. And I just, went to Walmart to look for a planner. So my last planner was a much larger one. So this one was a little bit difficult to get used to, because I'm used to much bigger blocks. So what I do is, for mine, I just decorate them monthly. I don't decorate anything else. And how I decorate that one will depend on what design I've done and what supplies I have on hand. I only had a couple stickers for only 2 of the layouts. I'm going to show you from July to August, sorry. September. So July, August, and September. Normally I do it at the beginning of the month, but I just haven't had time to do it. And so I just did all 3 of them when I did it. I'm rambling way too much, I'm sorry. So this is what July's look like. It's very military themed because of 4th of July. The papers, the flag paper and the camo paper is from Hobby Lobby. And then these stickers, my husband, I don't even remember where we got them, but it's just leftover stickers that we've had from his scrapbook, his military scrapbook. So I just kind of popped them in here because he doesn't use them anymore. But I kind of went with the camo theme because this is similar to the BDU type of camo that they used to wear, that my husband used to wear when he was active. And I've always been very partial to it. I don't know why. But they didn't have any more modern looking, camouflage. So I just chose that one. And then, of course, you have to have the American flag. It's 4th of July, so. And then all these little stickers just say, stuff about military, patriot, oath, loyalty. liberty, valor, strength, duty, courage, fight for freedom. So that is what that one looks like. And August, I did a very like mermaid theme. I did not have any stickers for this one on hand, and I wasn't going to go out and, I did not have any stickers for this on hand, so I just used what I had. So what that one looks like. The mermaid paper I got at Hobby Lobby. So all the actual like decorative paper that I use for mine are normally at Hobby Lobby. Whenever we make a trip down there, I always like to go into Hobby Lobby and stock up on their papers, and I don't make it down there very often. It's an hour away from me is the closest one, so which is the old town that we lived in. So when we're down there, I go in and stock up because Joann's wants $1 a sheet here, and Hobby Lobby I can get it for 39 cents a piece. So I would stop doing this sort of thing if I wasn't able to, find an alternate. If I wasn't able to find an alternative way of doing things, because I'm not paying $1 a sheet for a piece of decorative paper that I'm just going to chop up and glue on a book. But I do find it. I don't want to say soothing, but I do find it relaxing to do this, and it makes my planner decorative and pretty, and it gives me something to look at for the month that I'm working in. And since my planner is only for my Patreon, I only schedule my videos and stuff in it, so that's what it's for. I don't have enough going on in my normal life to need a planner for. So, like I said, the decorative papers from Hobby Lobby, this is from what looks like Waves is what I was going for, was out of one of those paper packs from the Dollar Tree when they had them put out. So that's out of that, and then the foil paper is also from Dollar Tree. And then I have a little cupcake here because that's my middle daughter's birthday. I always put a cupcake on everybody's birthday, that way, it just adds a little bit of touch, and it reminds me that that's coming up. And then I have just little gems. And then for September, I did a fall themed, which is my favorite time of year. And once again, the leaf paper is from Hobby Lobby. This marble, like orange paper, orangish yellow paper, is from Walmart. It's one of their marble packs. And then the foil paper is also from Dollar Tree. And the stickers, I bought 2 packs of these last year, and I kind of did a similar type of theme last year, other than I didn't have the leaf paper. I don't recall exactly what I used for that, but I bought 2 packs of these at Walmart for 98 cents a piece, and they're gorgeous. They're metallic and shiny, and they're just gorgeous. So those are my planner layouts for now. I think what I'll do is I'll do it like every 3 months. I'll share it with you guys depending on how much you are interested in it. If you're interested in how I do it, then I would gladly, film a tutorial for that if you wanted. But like I said, I don't know how interested you guys would be. But it is a craft. So I thought I would go ahead and share it in my podcast today, just to, give you guys an idea of what else I do. So that is all for this week. So thanks for watching. Have a great day.